Hello class, we're going to take that program we worked with previously, which was Chapter 2, Various Topic Samples, and we're making a Part 2. Do you recognize this code? I changed it slightly to say sname versus sname 3. We prompt you with an input function to ask what your name is. Whatever you type in and hit enter is assigned to here. Now take a look here. We're going to ask someone what their age is, and we're going to put a space at the end just so the cursor moves over one. We take whatever was entered, we treat it as a string, and we convert it from a string to an integer. So for example, if I enter in 25, it treats it as a string 25 without the quotes around it. Or actually, it does this. We actually need to do a conversion to get that to something like this, so the computer can do math, such as add, multiply, divide. If you look right here, 25 looks like a number, but it's a string, and we got to convert it to this. And that's what this code does. It takes the 25, converts it to an integer, and puts it into IH. So I'm going to get rid of this because we can't have it in there for the code to run. All right. So what we then do is say your age is colon, comma. And do you remember what the comma does? It actually puts us out to the screen, a space, and the value of IH. If I want to use concatenation, which means I don't use a comma, I have this string go out, then I add to the end of it IH. But the problem is IH is an integer, so we have to convert it to a string and add it to the other string. Another option is you can say your age is concatenation format. Format returns a string just like str does, but it takes the value and it formats it with 0, and we treat it as a decimal integer. We also take your age, such as 25, and multiply it by 365 to figure out how many days old you are. This does not take in consideration leap years. And then we can find out how many hours old you are by taking how many days old you are and multiplying it by 24. And we write out to screen, hello, comma, space, sname is whatever your name is, you are, space, age, in years old. When you use the print with commas, you don't need the plus sign and you don't need to convert IH to a string. So let's run it and let's see what happens. You say, okay. I'm going to put in prof C. I'm going to move this over a little bit so you can see the code. And I'm going to move this over so we can kind of put a side-by-side comparison. Hit enter. I'm going to put in age 25. I'm not quite 25, but today I am. And you can see how the code worked. You can see prof C was then assigned to sname. You can see 25 was then assigned as a string to sh. We take sh, convert it to an integer, and put it into another variable called IH. We say your age is space, that's what the comma does, 25. Here's another version. Your age is, and then we put a space. See, we have to put the space within the quotes. The plus for concatenation, we convert this numeric 25 to a string and put it out. And this code does the same as the string. I'm going to take away the string conversion, and you're going to see we get an error because you cannot take this string and concatenate or add to the end a integer. It has to be a string. So let's run it. We got an error, and what it says is, this is the program, line 12, print age is colon space concatenation. Must be a string and not an int. We got to make this int into a string. If you don't want to do that conversion, just do print your string, comma, the variable. And if you're wondering what the line number is, if you move this over and you position yourself, it will tell you line 12. If your program's quite large, you can do edit, see Control G, and say line, oh, not fine, my apologies. Edit, go to Alt G, type in 12, and it will bring you to the line of code. I come over here, do a string, do a conversion, and my code is working. Beautiful. Let's run it again. I'm going to give you a challenge in a moment. So see down here, you are 9,125 days old, and you are 219,000 hours old. I haven't shown you the code to do that. My challenge to you is write the print statement to put out you are, this value can be found in this variable, then put days old and you are, and then you want to put the contents of this variable out to the screen, and you want to put at the end hours old. The answer is right below, and you can kind of see it here. I'm going to ask you to pause the program and do your best to get the code written to put this out to the screen. Okay, come back when you think you got it. Welcome back. You should have attempted. I hope you paused. I hope you didn't cheat. I don't like the word cheat. I hope you didn't go ahead. Here's how you do it. You put in quotes, you are, comma, and that puts this out to the screen. We need to now put the variable I days old, comma, I days old, comma, and then you put this string out to the screen. Then you put this variable, which is I hours old, which is 219,000, the value right here. And then you put the word hours old. I hope you did it, and I hope you learned a lot.